Hi, gorgeous women. It's Sophie Musumeci from Real Entrepreneur Women's. I'm very excited to share with you. I have the gorgeous inside and out Sarah with me today to share all of her wisdom around how she was able to grow her coaching business inside the Wealthy Woman Mastermind. Thank you so much, Sarah, for doing this. We
My
really
pleasure.
are grateful. Why don't you kick off with sharing a little bit about what you do and then how did you get into this?
I'm an Australian medical doctor, and I started an online business to help people prevent and reverse Alzheimer's disease through an online 6-month program. I got into that just over a year ago when tragically the father of one of my best friends died of Alzheimer's disease. And his diagnosis and demise was really unexpected. It's always unexpected, but it was really unexpected because he was healthy. Anyway, I started looking into how this could be prevented and came across a program that has been shown to reverse Alzheimer's disease. And I wonder why everyone's not doing it. So I did the training and became accredited with that system. And so now I'm delivering it online.
Oh my goodness. Like, I don't think there's any person in Australia who wouldn't be affected by Alzheimer's or dementia,
Everyone
or
knows someone.
everyone knows someone. So I think that what the work that you're doing is just so life-changing, and something that I think everyone can relate to. So tell us a little bit about what your journey into becoming a coach has been like, going from, very strict rules around what you can and can't do to now moving into the online space. How have you found the transition?
Well, there are still strict rules, and because I'm still working as a doctor, and I have to make sure that I satisfy all the bits and pieces to do with my insurance and APRA and codes of ethics and conduct and stuff like this. So I'm just taking it one step at a time. Like I'm just, I've chatted to my indemnity insurer, and I let everyone know that I don't know what the relationship is between us.
Yeah.
Um, and it's been, it's a new way of delivering medicine, which is, I think, much better than the usual model of seeing a specialist or a GP who are specialists, sorry, seeing a doctor, going away with a list of things to work on, and then just not seeing them for a couple of months. So I connect with my people every 2 weeks, and we are in constant contact as often as they need.
Mm.
And I think that that's helping people stay on track, which is going to be better for them.
Absolutely. How have you found the difference between having a physical like business and then having you're growing your coaching business and being online?
I've never actually had an online, sorry, I've never had a bricks and mortar place where I see people one on one. The type of doctoring I was doing before was very much in hospitals, either me working on the ward in private hospitals or working in theatre, where obviously that is brick and mortar. It's totally different. In those roles, I've not been the senior doctor. I've been the person following instructions. So it's been a huge leap for me to take that responsibility, which I'm allowed to do. I just haven't had the like opportunity or guts to just friggin' do it. So I've had to dig deep for that and gone through some coaching sessions with someone I connected with in your group, which was absolutely essential to how I've changed how I can do this business. So that journey has been a working on myself for sure. You can't just like put up a post and people come click on it and then it's going to be fine. There's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, the internal work is often the greatest one. So tell us, what were you struggling with? Like, why did you seek out a mentor, or why did you look to come into the Wealthy World Mastermind?
I the big thing, I mean, there were a few things. There were lots of things. I needed to work Facebook. I'd been in a program in a container where Insta was the focus, and I think my people are on Facebook, and Facebook itself is just ridiculously complicated. I think it's complicated. And the other thing I needed was some accountability. I cannot believe how many touch points there are with your team and how there is a personal success coach who will pull me up and will ask what WTF this thing that you were going to do. And that was definitely lacking previously for me.
What's that like, having that accountability person there with you to be like, hey, really?
I mean, it's really good. Like, there are no excuses. If there is a block or something that's stopping you, you've got to find out what the hell it is and F it off.
I love it. You're just like very black and white. Let's just F it off. Let's just move on. No wonder you and Amelia work so well together, right? She's very much
She's excellent.
like very black and white. Let's get
And you
going.
wonder, I wonder if she's like, if she's angry with me, and then she's like, no, wonderful, like great work, and it's all just love and hearts and stuff like that. It's like, it's all from a place of love.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what have you found some of the big things inside the mastermind, I guess, that have been, most helpful for you to be able to move forward and grow?
That's hard because each of the classes are so important. I mean, you start the week off with getting your mind in straight, and you think you've been to lots of mastermind sort of touchy-feely classes before, but there's always another angle that you can get on this. Like the one on overwhelm from Bianca is it Bianca? I'm getting everyone's names mixed up.
Yeah.
Was so good. Copy class, everyone's expertise on how to run Facebook. I mean, you just can't not learn anything at one of those classes. I'm struggling to get to them live. Some weeks I won't get to many live at all, but then they're on replay, and you'll just pick up. I pick up something from each class. So I don't know if I can list one thing, Sophie.
That's okay. You can list as many as you like. I think that's a really good point because sometimes people think, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to get to all of the classes, so I just don't know if it's still going to be valuable. What would you say to someone thinking about that?
I mean, what's great is like the schedule looks full, but you don't have to go to everything live. Because it's full, it means that you'll be able to get to something. Like one day a week, you'll get to a call because do you know what I mean? Like because there are so many, you'll get to at least one. It doesn't mean you have to go to all of these things that are listed there. And they are listed, they are there, the replays are there if you want to just like dip in and out. And people will talk about the ones that were really good. So they're the ones that you can target.
Yeah, and then you can go back and watch them as well. Like you hear people like,
Yeah,
oh my God, I just did this. It was amazing. Then you can grab the replay. You can also ask
exactly.
your questions before. So tell us a little bit about what some of your biggest wins have been. Everyone loves to hear about the growth. What would you say are your top two?
Oh, I've had two sales calls since starting in this group where the potentials both said yes. One later ended up pulling out. I had a lot to learn from that one of how to manage certain situations in the future. And then the second one just said yes, like right away. And I'd used the script that I'd practiced and what have you. Um, and then a following week, I had three. I'm going to call them sales calls because it was asking for two people who'd finished their 6 months with me. I was asking them to re-sign, and another person who was working with me one-on-one and had been reluctant to join my program. I was asking him to sign for the 6 month program. They all said yes in the one day. Because my week was busy. I had them all booked in like these calls on the one day. 3 from 3, Sophie. I was just so stoked. So that it like pads out my program. I want to keep people in my container. They're my first clients that came on, and like we've just got a great working relationship. We all respect each other so much. So I'm so glad they're sticking with me, and they're paid for it.
I know, right? I remember when that first client pulled out. Remember, I called you and you're like, oh, this is what happened. I'm like, but that's okay because that's a learning part. And that's the thing. Sometimes people put so much like, on themselves when things don't pan out, perfectly and the person doesn't pay. It's like, but that's a learning opportunity. As long as you are learning through those moments, it was incredibly important. And then that prepared you then for the next time around how to handle that, right?
Exactly.
Remember that conversation? When you had your three clients in one day, I remember Amelia, she was like calling us all. She's like, oh my God, Sarah. She was like, we were all like super excited for you because your wins are our wins as well. What advice would you have to someone who's maybe like sitting on the fence, or maybe, sometimes we have women that have been around in our group for a really long time and they're just not, maybe they're not sure. Maybe they've worked with other people before, and sometimes they think that, oh, it's just another coaching program. Or, I've had one beautiful lady that I met with last week, and she's like, oh, I just, I know so much about marketing and sales already. I'm not sure what you can teach me. And then when we looked into her finances and what's actually happening, she just had so many gaps. So, what would you say to someone who's not sure?
I think that life and business is a constant journey, and being a coach, you constantly have to work on yourself, and you've got to work on what you're doing, like how you deliver this stuff. I think we should always be um, trying to get whatever we can from people who are willing to share their information, like yourself and your team. Why wouldn't you just try and get every little piece from them? And getting into this mastermind has meant that I've got access to so many people and the opportunity to ask them questions so they can audit my Facebook page and my copy. It's that immediate feedback, which is so precious. I mean, you actually can't not get your money's worth. You can't not lose. You can't not win. You have to win by being in your container with so many people and that kind of interaction with them all.
Yeah, good advice. Good advice. What's one thing that you've learned in the mastermind that you want to share with someone who's watching right now? Like something that you found really impactful for you that you want to give that little bit of gold. Anything. I'm totally putting you on the spot. Doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to
Okay,
be a
that's okay.
strategy, pick anything. What's the biggest lesson for you?
I think a lot has come. That last session with Bianca about overwhelm was so good. Um, when you let yourself be overwhelmed, you're not trusting yourself, and we actually do have way more capacity than we give ourselves credit for. And if we just trust that we actually do have time, one little step after the other, you actually can get it all done. You've just got to trust yourself, trust the mentors around you that they've got your back.
Trusting yourself is huge in
Yeah.
everything. That's a very, thank you. I put you totally on the spot. That's such a good piece of advice. It's like we can all get so caught up in being overwhelmed and being busy. But if we're able to change how we view being busy, we can just go, okay, I'm just going to do one thing at a time, one
That's
thing.
right. It manifests as overwhelm, and then like that's an element of anxiety or whatever the next negative kind of emotions are. Yeah, if it gets out of
What are you
control, if you don't
excited?
control that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's a
No,
delay.
if you don't control that feeling of not trusting yourself, and it manifests and morphs into something that doesn't serve you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about for your business in the future now that you've got
I'm
this?
looking forward to spending more time on this business and less on my other job. I already know which jobs have been crossed out. I've turned down lots of other work because I'm busy in this, and it's now like financially, it's just about compensating. I am looking forward to more skipping out of town early with kids to go to the beach because I've done all my work back in Canberra, so I can just get out of here now. And then when the kids are done in school, it's just going to be that all the time because I will just take my computer and wherever there's internet, I'm going to connect with my people. And when my cup's full, I can deliver it to all my people. And if I don't have to go to another job, then I can focus more on this and make my program so kick-ass, it's just going to be irresistible.
Oh my goodness, how good does that feel? Like,
It's going to be amazing.
oh, but you're already doing it, and that's the thing. And I just have to say, like, for the ladies who are watching this, like, what Sarah has done is that she's come in with an open heart. She shows up, she asks great questions, she works with the team, she follows the curriculum, like she's implementing it, right? So it's not like she just had 4 conversations with people and everyone said yes, and it was like, there was work that you were doing. But now, because how much have you brought in those couple of months?
Um, it's 10K without the person even she paid me a little bit. It's just over 10K.
Just over 10K, right? So you've
Yeah.
gone from you basically started a brand new coaching business and gone online with this new business, made just over 10K already. But now you have the foundations to allow you to be anywhere. So work from anywhere, have the flexibility with the kids to be able to go to the beach, work less in your other job, and do work that you're super, super passionate about. Like
That's
that's
is incredible. That realization was only this week that I realized I was working really hard on a session for my participants, and I realized like I love it. I was working up to this deadline, and I really enjoyed what I was doing, and that's my job. Fantastic.
oh my God, you're living the dream. This is what we live for.
That's it. I am. I'm living the dream, Sophie.
Yeah, you are embodying the full wealth of woman. I love it. I love it. Do you have any final words that you would like to share before we wrap up?
I mean, everyone's worth the investment in themselves. You just got to jump in and do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Thank you so much. Now, obviously, if anyone wants to reach out to you, where can they find you, Sarah?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. And
So Sarah Stevens, so STEP.
Yeah, that's right.
H-E-S.
I actually can't commit to memory my Instagram handle, but my website's drsarahstevens.com.au and doctors, DOCTOR, all one word, drsarahstevens.com.au. And on the bottom of the page are all the socials.
Yeah, so if you'd like to look into more around what she's doing, then definitely reach out to her because I think the work that you're doing is fantastic and life-changing and for all of the families out there as well. So thank you so much for sharing your experience inside the Wealthy Woman Mastermind and for your time and sharing some really gorgeous gifts with everyone. I really appreciate you. Thanks, ladies. Ciao for now.